Welcome, welcome, welcome to This Week in Wrestling. We have a little bit of news to talk about, not a lot. And I know that Gina and I are might have a little debate. We kind of talked about it on Twitter, but I don't think it's going to be an argument.
Mm-mm.
It's gonna be a little bit of a debate. But other than that, that's pretty much all the news we got. And then we're going to get into the Clash of Champions. We'll talk more about that. There's 10 matches on the card. Let's get started. So the format will change on this, and Basement's got an idea for that. We'll talk about that. I'll probably debut that next week. I want to try to not go 5 hours this week. Or ever again. If we are, we're
God,
starting
like
at
I will literally be. I will fucking push myself off of a cliff.
It could be 10 hours.
Hey, number one,
A little bit of the bubbly.
24-hour stream.
number one, you can't push yourself off of a cliff. You can
Like
jump
hell,
off
I
the cliff.
can't. I can grab myself by the collar and tug, and then I can just woo.
It is
Throw
what it
yourself
is.
off.
It is
You
what it
have a
is.
little bit of the bubbly.
It is what it is. So, we might as well get it out of the way. The King of the Ring. It's dead. I'm going to call it for what it is. So, what did I say was going to fucking happen? I didn't say Shane.
You said Shane, and then you got proven wrong.
I knew they were going to put Shane in the match. They were going to have a match with Shane in this tournament. I called it. Everybody owes me an apology. I'm waiting.
No.
Fuckers.
Why is it on my ankle and had to bow out?
I mean, I think we all agreed that it was going to be some fuckery with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was. But I thought, my God, the way that they're doing this, he's going to fucking win.
Right.
It's a good thing
But-
that they didn't have him win that match. I'm
Yeah,
going to say that right now.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I really didn't think that they were gonna have him win the King of the Ring because I knew that it would be just too much heat. Like there's a difference between good heat and like fucking bad heat, and that would have been way too much bad heat.
Well,
It would have been enough to where like people would have just not watched.
Well, anything with Shane McMahon is bad heat right now.
I concur.
I'm glad. Now, I said it. I called it. Both Ronnie and I called it. We both said that they were going to do something with Shane, and he may fucking win for Smack. He might be SmackDown's champion for the King of the Ring. I'm glad they didn't do it, but boy, people were not happy, and that people were not happy with the him doing. I knew he was gonna fucking do it. The way the shit-eating grin he had on his face at the beginning of that show, I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be in there. Now I don't know if Elias is a work or if it's actual injury.
I think it's a work because like it just. I mean, come on, the timing.
I said it during the show. I said if they have Shane do it, it's a work. If they have Shane come out, it's a work injury. If they don't, then they're going to put somebody else in. They wouldn't have put Shane in that match if it was not a legit. That's just me. What does everybody else think of that thought process?
I don't think it's an injury. I think it was an angle,
yeah.
but it's just a stupid angle. And
It was.
It put like the last piece of shit on a pile of shit that was in the ring.
Right?
I think
So,
that we can all pretty much agree with the fact that like we saw it coming. We knew it was coming. As soon as we heard Elias was injured, it's like, oh, get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
You know that it's almost like it's not a real injury because the timing is just too perfect.
Mm-hmm.
We all saw it coming, and it was a load of shit. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Yep. I'm with you. Now, even though that I called it, that doesn't mean I wanted it to happen. Okay? I didn't want it to happen. I knew it was going to. Just a matter of when. Thank God they did it here and not in the finals.
The one thing that I did like what happened though was they brought Kevin Owens into the storyline, or he was already in the storyline, obviously, but they brought him into this specific storyline, making him the ref.
Yes.
And once they made him the ref, you kind of knew that Chad Gable was going on to the finals.
But
And
this,
and that was like the small victory for me because
But
I
they-
was
the
silently
thing,
rooting for Gable.
agreed. The thing that sucked about this is that they used this match to advance the storyline.
Oh,
between-
completely. They used the whole King of the Ring to advance the storyline.
And
It's advanced.
Basement said that that's what they were going to do. I said that's what they were going to do.
But-
That's what this whole tournament was about.
But it's not. But it's exactly. But it's not just advancing the Shane and Kevin Owens storyline. It's advancing Baron Corbin's storyline as well. Because like last week he came off as like the heel that got away with the victory, stole the victory, whatever. It's increasing Baron Corbin's heel character as well. So, and we kind of saw that coming. We knew that it was going to fucking happen for both sides.
I am going to say this. I would rather have Baron Corbin than Shane McMahon. Mister.
I mean, I would rather have Chad Gable, but you know that's probably not going to happen, even though you secretly want it to. It's going to be Baron Corbin.
Yes.
Because I'd rather have anyone that was actually in the tournament win the tournament. They
Yeah.
already did the fucked up thing with the triple threat that shouldn't
Yes.
have happened. And then they go ahead and they take somebody out and put somebody in.
Yeah.
It's like, I do like the fact that I never saw Baron Corbin versus Chad Gable as the finals, but everything else that's happened in this tournament has been just a bunch of shit.
Right. So with that being said, let's pick 'em. I'm going with Baron Corbin. I know you want Chad Gable, but I'm telling you right now, it's a tease. They're teasing. Once Chad Gable is done losing, they aren't doing a damn thing with him.
I disagree as far as like not doing a damn thing with him because I think that he's shown them
Well,
that
they'll use him as a comedy.
I don't know though because like there's been a lot of people speaking out on Chad Gable, including Triple H himself and Vince McMahon. So like I think that they see.
I've never heard Vince McMahon say one fucking.
Oh yeah,
word
Vince
about it.
McMahon. He said stuff about Chad Gable on Twitter. Actually, but I mean not recently. It was back when he was with Jason Jordan, but still.
Well, there you go.
But I mean, he still spoke positively about Chad Gable, so he knows how much of an incredible athlete he is. But
Well, is he really going to speak negative about one of his employees on Twitter?
it's true. But like Triple H himself said that like he has a lot of similarities to like Kurt Angle, and Kurt Angle, as you guys know, he was not that great on the mic when he first started either. So like I'm hoping that they'll at least give him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Angle is better than Chad Gable is. I'll tell you that on the mic and in the ring.
Yes, I agree.
Regardless, I want Chad Gable. I know it's going to be Baron Corbin.
So I don't understand.
I don't know anything anymore. Like
what
fuck.
I'm saying is that my heart wants Chad Gable, but my brain is telling me it's going to be Baron Corbin.
Okay.
They've told more of a story centric to Baron Corbin in the King of the Ring than they have with Chad Gable. He was part of another story.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's his own storyline, and it's a shorty fucking storyline.
But the weird thing is like they started off with like his own storyline with Shelton Benjamin, and then that storyline melted into the Shane storyline.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where they'll use him in the future. Maybe he'll like get in between with like Shane and Kevin Owens.
I don't want to see that.
Chad Gable is an incredible talent, but he just doesn't have what it takes to be winning that tournament at this point. Like he needs to really work on his mic skills. He sounds like he's like Bailey almost.
Right. So who are you going with, basically?
Corbin, Mr. Foreskin.
Heather?
I'm going with Corbin. They're teasing that victory so much that there's really no other way.
Dory, what about you?
It's gonna be Corbin.
Now I'm hoping we are all wrong.
That would be glorious.
I'm okay with either of these guys winning it.
Me
in all
too.
honesty,
Me too.
it's better than what I thought was going to happen at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's better than anybody else that was favored to win from the start.
If they can stop. Now there was a tweet out there today. A question asked, "What do you think of Baron Corbin?" I said he isn't. He has the potential to be a great heel. He has the potential to be a great asset to the WWE. They overuse him and made him too much of a focal point at times for me to give a shit about Baron Corbin.
he needs a character. Right now he's bouncing between different characters. Like he was the business enforcer or whatever for Shane McMahon
Constable.
The
for a
Constable,
while, which
yeah.
failed.
Right.
Now he's going to be King of the Ring, which is a gimmick that has very small like longevity. Like he's going to be King of the Ring and anybody's going to care about it in 6 months. No.
Trek, what about you, buddy?
I'd love to see it be Gable, but it's be Corbin. The way they've been wrapping it up, it's got to be him.
Bobbit?
Listen, motherfuckers. As the
Okay.
king, as one of the kings at the Stanley Grapple, I'm gonna go with that Gable motherfucker, because he seems like a real guy, man. And I
Did
can't
he
wait to
just-
put him on my next rap album, motherfucker.
Rap,
Did he
rap
say
him?
I'm gonna go with that gay Gable? Is that what he said?
I'm going to put him on my next rabum.
No, Bob. I love. Oh my god, I love DJ Skinny Penis, but I legitimately don't. You chose Gable, right?
I fucking hate DJ Skinny Penis. I'm not gonna lie to you. No,
But I'm seriously confused.
The last thing I want to touch on this is not on the Clash of the Champions card. It's
No.
on
It
Monday
will
Night
be.
Raw the next night.
That
Which
is-
No, I actually agree with it. I actually do agree with
Why?
it in this instance. I do agree with it just simply because it is Clash of Champions,
Could have gone on the pre-show.
yeah, but there's
though.
Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
which is going to be
They
on the
clash
pre-show. I believe. I believe
I
that's
doubt
going to be on the
they're
pre-show.
I
doing-
highly doubt it.
Doubt that.
But when they first announced King of the Ring, they said it would conclude at Clash of Champions.
Look how much effort they put into the
It's
fucking
true.
Roman Reigns storyline. There's no way that's going to be on the pre-show.
Well, I mean, even if it's not, that's the only match on the card that's not a championship match. So,
No, and I understand that, but the Cruiserweight Championship match is going to be.
I mean, if you think about it, if they would have put King of the Ring, if they would have put that on Clash of Champions, then they would have had to get rid of at least two of the championship matches, which then we would have been going, why the fuck isn't this title being defended at Clash of Champions? It's supposed to be a Night of the Champions. So, like, regardless of which, people would have been bitching right either way around. So I like how they did it.
I think I was hyped up a bit too much for the nostalgia of King of the Ring to not realize how much effort they really put into it, because they put very little. It wasn't hyped very much before it just started happening.
Yeah.
They did a little promo package on Raw, and then it just began.
Well, I think it was just like, it was one of those things where it was like, okay, we need a last minute ratings grab. Like, what can we do? And they scrounged something up. And what they don't understand is, like, the reason why all of us loved King of the Ring was because, one, it was its own pay-per-view back in the day. And there was a build to that pay-per-view, you know, like a long build. It wasn't just something that you threw on, oh, next Monday is starting King of the Ring. No, fuck off with that shit.
They
What
would've
they should have
called it-
done is had qualifying matches.
Yeah,
I
and
agree.
had the whole pay-per-view be the King of the Ring tournament. Clash of Champions means it's such a useless pay-per-view. Like, what are they actually fighting for? Most of the
Championship.
time, well, sometimes they have champions versus champions.
Like
They used
it.
to, that kind of stupid bullshit. I mean, you don't need a pay-per-view called to have championship matches on it to be a gimmick about championship matches.
Well, and what I really like about this one is that they don't have champion versus champion. Like, they don't have Raw champion or Universal champion versus WWE champion, because that's what Survivor Series is for.
But they
Survivor
can't
Series
they
should
can't put
not
the King of the
be
Ring.
about that, though. That's the thing. I don't.
Well,
like
but
that.
I'm just saying, like, that's
No, I
what
know,
they
I
turned
know.
Survivor Series into. So if you're gonna do that, then do it at Survivor Series.
The thing is, they can't put the King of the Ring final on Clash of the Champions, but you can have Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman wrestle twice.
Exactly.
See, that's
Right.
where.
Fuck me.
To me, if they would have called this tournament anything except for King of the Ring, I would have been okay with it. But because they put that title on it, that gives it a lot of expectations. And like,
Yeah.
to me, if they would have been like, it's the best in the world part 2 tournament, like anything else, and I would have been okay with it.
But then that also wouldn't have grabbed ratings, because like when people heard King of the Ring, initially it grabbed ratings.
But
Initially,
you
until
have to
people
also pay
realized.
off that expectation, because you've
Exactly.
got to you bring back the nostalgia to get an instant ratings grab, and then you shit all over it. It's like
turns people
Star
away.
Wars: The Last Jedi or whatever the fucking second movie was, using the name of the movie to get people in seats, and then presenting a pile of trash.
Yeah, I agree. Like
Whole nother
it
debate.
it may have grabbed initial ratings, but in the long run, it actually proved to be more detrimental to them than anything. And we've seen that on this past Monday night. This past Monday night, they had the lowest rated Raw in like forever. Or was that
With
this past or the
Taker.
week before that? I can't remember, but
Okay,
regardless.
we can talk about that because I can literally say that yes, football is the reason why the
Yeah.
ratings were so
Oh, definitely.
The show is fucking shit too. Let's not
Had
get
that
ourselves.
too.
there is no, and people that sit there and say, well, they dropped 22% from last year. Yeah, well, that's because wrestling fans are falling off the face of the earth right now.
They're falling off of WWE right now.
Oh, they're falling off of wrestling. I have been saying this for like 6 months now. Wrestling is on its last leg.
See, I kind of disagree with that statement. I think that like if WWE keeps up their shit, then they're gonna be like not on the last leg of obviously they're a multi-million-dollar company, but like WWE is dying quickly. But the other promotions like indie promotions and like AEW, New Japan, things like that, they're still alive. They're treading water, but they're still alive.
Okay, so those indie promotions, they're not going to have anywhere to go. And if WWE dies off, or AEW, which again, wrestling. What I say this all the time, and I don't want to reiterate. What more can you do in wrestling? And Basement said it best last week. It's how it's presented. It's not that you can repeat stuff, but it's how it's presented that makes wrestling. That's the problem. And nobody knows how to fix it. And AEW, with their last pay-per-view, was really questionable to me. And if you want to, I'm not going to go into that. We talked about it last week. So yeah, I wrestling is really it's I hate to say this because I love wrestling. It's dying. It is. Bowling used to be really big. It's dying because nobody wants to do it anymore.
But wrestling is dying because they're willingly killing it.
Exactly.
And there is a way to fix the problems. The problem is wrestling at the scale of WWE right now, at that huge, large scale, trying to fill up Madison Square Gardens and all the other big places all over the world. It's too big. This is why NXT is so popular, or at least we like it so much.
And the indie shows.
Because it's smaller.
And the indie shows, because like people like going to and watching the indie shows because they're more personable. And the stars are a little bit more down to earth, so you can go up and you can walk up to a star on an indie circuit, and most of the time they'll stand there and they'll talk to you like human beings. Whereas some of the WWE superstars will do the same thing, but most of them won't.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Well, I understand that there's a reason, but all I'm saying is that like WWE has, the bigger they get, the further away from their fans that they are actually getting.
I think the further they're getting away from their hardcore fan base, which is the fan base that actually spends consistent money, and that's what's going to hurt them the most because they're getting more and more accessible for people that are part of the revolving door fan base. But the hardcore fan base, the more they see them wanting to get those young fans, those fans that'll watch for a year and leave, the less they're going to keep us.
And sorry, Basement. I was just going to say, to add to your point, this is one of the reasons why AEW is even in existence, because of the hardcore fans. I know how you guys feel about AEW. I'm not looking to get into another fucking debate, but
no. The hardcore fans, they're always, and I've said this before, they're gonna get the hardcore fans. It's them catering to the hardcore fans, and nobody else is the problem with AEW.
Oh yeah, they definitely have their problems.
To the casuals, because if they don't, they're not going to survive.
Well, they definitely have their problems, just like WWE does. But all I'm saying is, like, okay, like WWE has the problem, like Basement said. They are catering to the casuals, and they're not going to keep the longevity of their fan base, like the people that are actually there for the long run. Whereas AEW, they at least have the long run fans, and all they have to do now is just bring in the casual fans. So, in my opinion, AEW kind of has a hand up in that level, because it's going to be really hard for WWE to convince those hardcore fans to actually come back and to stay back.
WWE is teetering on the brink of being embarrassing to watch.
It's true.
And that's a huge problem for them. If you're going to have 30, 40, 50-year-olds watching it from the hardcore fan base that are like, I watch it, but I'd rather not anyone know because it's a fucking joke of a like we can understand certain things are really stupid, but like if I turn the channel and I see a guy getting rolled up by a police officer or I see a guy in a house with a bunch of puppets, it's not a good look, man.
Nope.
Which is actually really, really sad because the two things that he just named off are probably the two best things that WWE has going for them today.
And that's
Like,
But
that's
you have to
bad.
That's
explain
really
it
sad.
to non-fans, though. Like, to a person, like, example, my husband's not a wrestling fan. Everything, when he walks in the room, I have to sit there and explain it to him, and it's just a blank look on his face. It's not, like, to us, it makes sense, but to somebody who's never watched wrestling before, it's like a completely different world.
What WWE is doing right now makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. Everything they're doing makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. From Bray Wyatt to fucking R-Truth makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. Why are they doing it? I know why. Well, I know why they're doing it, but it don't make sense. They shouldn't be doing it. They shouldn't be doing it. There's a better way to do things, and what they're doing is not the right way.
They've gotten a bit too like hokey, like
Yes.
just clowning around with everything, so nothing becomes serious, and then like you can only watch that for so long before you're like, okay, well, I guess nothing matters.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, because this is where the conversation went for 3 hours. So
Yes, for the love of God, let's move on to the next topic, please.
So that being said, we've talked about the King of the Ring, NXT. Don't forget, everybody, that, and it is right what I said last week. For the first hour for NXT, it will be on USA Network, and then the second hour will be on the WWE Network because they are ending Suits. Is it?
Yeah.
They're ending Suits, which is one of their highest rated shows on USA.
And it's their final
And it's their final season, so they don't want to have to move that up to the 10 o'clock hour, 9 o'clock hour. Well, for us to be the 10 o'clock hour, so that they can have their 2 hour show. The show is getting ready to end, so there's 2 weeks. That's why it's going to be on the network for 1 hour after. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. Don't worry. You're not going to fucking miss anything because they're probably going to go to a commercial. They'll probably do something and then have your network ready. Technology is a wonderful thing.
Here's my question, though. Like, why didn't they just wait the 2 weeks until Suits?
USA asked them to.
Right.
Yes.
It actually works in their favor too, kind of, to segue from the network to there.
Oh, I suppose.
Yeah, I like what they're doing because it could get eyes on the USA Network, especially if what I think they might do, because Velveteen Dream is facing Roderick Strong.
Wait, you mean it could get eyes on the WWE Network? You mean?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because you
Hey, I
said
might
USA
need to
Network,
check
and I
that
was
out.
all
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
This is how the WWE be like, okay, so this is essentially, because, yes, hardcore fans watch NXT. A lot of people don't know where Johnny Gargano came from or Tommaso Ciampa. They live in the, I'm going to call it the Roman Reigns bubble. Everybody always says, well, they don't push NXT stars. Well, bullshit. Seth Rollins came from there. Dean Ambrose came from there. Roman Reigns came from NXT. So for people to sit there and say they don't push NXT talent, you're a fucking idiot. Because they
Flair came from NXT.
All the fucking 4 horsewomen came from there. So come on. So, but I think this will benefit WWE in the long run. It'll help them build. Hopefully, if they do it right, subscribers to the network. But I don't see
if they do it right. How many times have we said that?
I was just gonna say, like, is it really, really sad that we have to keep on saying that over and over and over again? And if DJ Skinny Penis, if you don't shut the fuck up in the chat, I'm going to saute your penis.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the same thing with the King of the Ring. If they do it right, it'd be great. Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Almost if Bray Wyatt. If they do it right, it'd be great. They're still out on him, but it's not looking great right now for me.
Yeah,
That last segment that he did with the Firefly Funhouse on Raw, I think it was terrible.
Yes.
It was the worst one I've ever seen
Well,
because it
you
didn't
know,
even
like-
have sinister overtones.
Okay,
It just
but-
looked like
but, like-
some goofy dumbass playing with puppets.
But like, here's the thing, like, after hearing what happened in the dark match last week with Bray Wyatt, I have lost all hope for him because like them giving him a dark match against fucking the B team. Yes, I know Bo Dallas is his brother. I know. I get it. But for them to give him a match against the B team, even though it was a dark match, he should not be being seen at all unless he is attacking somebody.
Agreed.
And people will say, well, it's a dark match. It wasn't televised. It doesn't matter. Everybody has phones. There's social...
Yeah, people who are
WWE
recording
knows
it.
how social media works. Fucking... They're shoving it down everyone's throat constantly. So obviously, like, that was a terrible idea. And I think it's because they teased him so much. They're like, we got to pay it off at some point.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, they still made him look strong against, like, the B team, which, I mean, who doesn't look strong
Why
against
is
the
he
B team?
fighting them?
But that's my point. Like,
Most
why
dark
is he
matches don't
fighting
make
him? It doesn't make
sense.
any sense.
It just seems like a negative for his character, even though it's not supposed to be televised. People will find out about it and know about it. It just shouldn't be happening.
Right.
It's
Now,
like
Dory,
Undertaker
I
in a
know
dark
that
match.
you're a
You
big
can fucking-
advocate for seeing Bray Wyatt. Are you not, or are you in agreement with everybody else?
No, it's not so much that I want to see him all the time. I want him just properly used when we do see him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that they did a dark match, we know why they did it. It's because they're at Madison Square Gardens, and I know that they want to do something for the fans that are there. But, I mean, they had Undertaker. Like, you had an Undertaker appearance. Like, you did have some really great matches. Why use Bray? It just doesn't make sense to me. You know, like, if they're okay, we want to...
I'm going to go one further and say, why in the fuck... Let's talk about that. Monday they bring out Stone Cold. Did he move the needle at all?
I don't think so.
They bring out The Undertaker on Tuesday. For what? What did they
Well-
bring The Undertaker out for?
G-pop.
From what I heard,
But is I'm sorry, Gina. I want to respond to Tori. But is that actually doing anything besides getting a pop from the crowd?
right?
Nope. It's literally just a cheap pop.
Yeah,
Stupid.
from what I heard, the plan actually was for Bray Wyatt to attack The Undertaker, but I can't remember what they said. Something happened. Oh, like the Elias injury, and then they rewrote the entire script. So that part
Elias
was
got
taken out, which was why Bray Wyatt was put in a dark match, because he was there already. So they put him in a dark match. But
Well, he's
even
always
still,
already there.
but I mean, even still, well, I guess the crowd was cheering or wanting him or whatever, so they put him in a dark match. But even still, like, regardless of what, he should not be. What the fuck is he attacking The Undertaker for? In my opinion, he should
You know,
not
new
be
faces.
attacking any legends unless he is stealing their moves. Like, as I said before, he attacked Mick Foley and he stole his finishing move. Like, that makes sense to me. Him attacking The Undertaker makes no fucking sense to me
He's-
whatsoever.
Him attacking
Bray's-
legends makes no sense. They've already done the legend killer thing with Randy Orton. I don't want to see, like, his character doesn't need to be doing that. It makes no sense anyway.
But
I
if
would
he-
just leave him attacking Mick Foley and taking his move, and that's it, and move on from there.
Right.
The other ones to me don't make sense, but The Undertaker does, because Bray keeps calling himself the new face of fear. So, I mean, I could understand Taker.
He's been calling himself that since baby.
Well, but you know, the thing is, I could understand Taker too, just not right now. Like,
I can understand Taker
that
at
is-
WrestleMania and have
Yes.
Bray Wyatt actually beat him.
That's what I was
He's
just
already
going to
lost.
say.
His
That
mystique
is
gone. So
that is something that needs to be built up until like a WrestleMania, and then like Basement said, have him beat him.
Yeah, but them three, like getting Roman Reigns out there, or I'm sorry, I don't know why I fucking said that. Getting Bray Wyatt out there, it I don't care. In fact, I never cared about Bray Wyatt in the beginning because I always knew I know exactly where they're going with it. I have this feeling that it's going to be Bray Wyatt. He's going to end up, and the only way that I see Bray Wyatt losing, the way that he should be booked is, and I didn't see it, was when in the ring where he's fighting his demons, if that makes sense. And it cost him a match. But I don't want him losing now. Ever. And I can see them now pulling the fucking trigger on him at fucking WrestleMania. WrestleMania having him lose. And him not. He's dead. But that's what I see.
Well, like we always said with him, he had to be handled very carefully, and WWE is just not the. It's like a veterinarian trying to do a triple bypass on a human being. Like
Right.
he needs to be handled carefully, and WWE is just not the company for it.
No, I agree.
I don't think there's any company for it.
Not now. WWE would be the company, I would say, maybe long. Well, the thing is, like Undertaker, they really lucked out with. They didn't build everybody that great back then either, but
No.
this is like almost everything has to fall into place perfectly, and they could do it, but they're not going to do it.
No. Anybody else have any other thoughts? I know we all like seeing the Stone Cold and the Undertaker, but
I'm at the
don't.
point
Get
where
them
I
off
don't
my
even
TV.
like them anymore. I don't like seeing it anymore.
I said that last year when they fucking had or 2 years ago when they had John Cena take on fucking Undertaker. What did I say? They're gonna fucking keep doing it, and it's
But at
gonna
least-
be cutesy for the first time, and then they're gonna keep fucking doing it. People are gonna get sick of it. Shane McMahon, Gina is like, I want to see Shane McMahon wrestle. Remember that about 6-7 months ago.
Yes, but then now I'm like, I don't want to see Shane McMahon anymore.
And that's because I knew they were going to keep fucking showing him on TV because
They do everything to death.
they do everything to death.
Mm-hmm.
It's honestly not fun anymore.
No,
I
they
used to-
overkill everything, and
They
it's
do. It drives me fucking nuts.
But at least with like the Undertaker and Shane McMahon, it's gonna be like, to what end? Yeah, maybe they'll wrestle. Stone Cold, he's fucking not gonna wrestle.
No.
So
Well,
every
yeah,
time I
and the
see
thing
him, I
is-
hate him more. It's like,
Well,
just
and the
please
thing is, if
don't
you
be on
remember
TV.
exactly what I said was I want to see Shane McMahon wrestle. And yes, we've seen him
I don't
wrestle a
want to see
little
it.
bit, but I don't want to see it anymore either. But like to what you just said, Shane McMahon does still wrestle, so you can still see him in those matches where it's a cage match where he's flying off the fucking cage. Probably shouldn't be seeing that, but
He's turning into Brock Lesnar in the fact that he turns purple as soon as he steps in that ring.
exactly, and exactly, so like I wanted to see that 6 months ago. Now I've got my fill, and now it's like, go the fuck away.
Right.
Well, Shane McMahon
Forever.
should be used like he was used for a while. Just he'd have a couple matches a year, and that's it. And it would have the match would always have a meaning to why he's wrestling in it. Then all of a sudden, the guy's wrestling every fucking week, and it's like, kill me.
Right.
Mhm.
I agree.
Yes, as soon as he won the best in the world thing, I was just like, what the fuck? I wouldn't have been like, what the fuck, if he would have been in that whole tournament. But the way that they did it, no.
No, I agree with you. So moving on, there is a report out there, and it's a rumor. I'm going to say rumor, not even a fucking report, that Impact might buy Ring of Honor. I don't see that happening. In fact, I would see Ring of Honor buying Impact before Impact buys Ring of Honor.
Where is Impact coming up with this huge
They
stash
are.
of
I'm
money?
thinking maybe
grass.
Access. The
It's
new
just,
channel.
it's just a rumor
Maybe they're
because
paying.
it's all about this move to Access TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they're thinking, and I used to get Access TV, and they don't have much for ads down here.
They don't.
No.
They don't do ads here, so the ad
Right.
revenue there wouldn't be any.
I didn't even know they existed until this
They,
moment. So.
they do up here in Canada. Like there's.
But, I mean,
commercials.
like as far as Access goes, Impact needs to. This has always been Impact's problem, in my opinion, is they're trying to go 15 steps ahead when they need to be taking baby steps.
Yep.
Because like right now they need to be. Now I know that they do have a solid fan base, except it's not that large of a solid fan base. So they need to start building up that fan base. They need to treat their wrestlers properly so their wrestlers aren't asking for their fucking releases like Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux.
Yep. Well, Scarlett Bordeaux is actually at the Performance Center.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's released. She's at the Performance Center, but Killer Cross is still fighting to get released. But they need to start treating their superstars right so that they want to stay there and build a company before they start worrying about buying other companies.
Again, it might be access, kind of like USA has control over certain things with WWE. It might be them being like, we want to create even more content, because right now they have WoW Wrestling, they have New Japan on there, like they have quite a few different wrestling promotions. So maybe that's
right.
access.
The thing with New Japan is it's like a recording.
Yeah, it's not.
I know,
Yeah.
but they're
program.
still offering that on a channel so people can access
yeah.
it.
But if New Japan is they don't if Access wants them to do something, New Japan's like fuck you, I ain't doing it. So
Yeah,
I
because
Yeah,
they
don't
just
see
have
them.
distribution. They don't work hand in hand. But
Well,
with WoW, they do.
Well, the thing is,
WoW
like,
is different, I think.
the thing is, like, with like New Japan. New Japan is no longer affiliated with ROH, which is why Impact is, thinking about affiliating themselves with ROH.
Yeah.
Affiliation is completely different than buying, because as JP and I were talking earlier, like AEW is affiliated with OVW and as well AAA. They're affiliated with them, which means neither company owns the other one. The wrestlers are just basically going back and forth between the promotions. This is exactly what ROH did with New Japan. New Japan did not own ROH or vice versa. They just swapped people, for certain matches.
And I'm going to say this. OVW and AAA are affiliates of AEW. It's not AEW. AEW is the bigger promotion.
Right.
So Ring of Honor is actually the bigger company. Impact has been around for 18 years now? Almost 18 years?
Just about.
Okay. How many times it all started? Everybody talks about the golden shovel with Triple H. This is where the problem started. Fucking Jeff Jarrett.
Hulk Hogan.
No, Jeff Jarrett fucking buried everybody in the company because he wanted to be the champion. He thought he was the top guy. So he was champion for fucking ever. And then Dixie Carter and her family buys the company from Jeff Jarrett, which Jeff Jarrett started it up. And look at where it went from there. They were on Spike TV,
Yes.
which is now Paramount TV.
Yes.
Well, what I will say is, like, I have watched a couple of episodes of Impact within the past, like, probably 6 months, and they do have a decent product. They need to work on it a little bit. And if they would become affiliated with, like, ROH or something like that, I'm going to say ROH because, like, I don't want them affiliated with New Japan.
Okay,
at this moment.
I'm gonna talk about that. I don't think AEW and New Japan should affiliate ever. I think
don't.
AEW needs to stand down its own. I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
This is why. This is my argument for this reason and this reason alone. If AEW affiliates themselves with New Japan, people are going to be like WWE people, because there's a lot of them out there are going to be like, see, I told you AEW could fucking stand on their own 2 fucking feet.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
and like
exactly why AEW needs to stay away from big promotions. New Japan is the second biggest promotion in the world right now. Yes, AEW is getting there, but still they're right behind New Japan. New Japan's still just a little bit bigger than AEW.
right. And like even with the like Impact, I don't want Impact affiliating themselves with New Japan because as Big Slow mentioned on Twitter earlier, shout out to Chance right now, but as he mentioned, they were affiliated a long time ago, and look what happened to people like Naito and Okada. They were jobbed out.
That was actually me. I said that. He said he made, and then I said that's true. I forgot. Well, he did say it. I said true. I forgot, and it was Okada was the reason why Impact or New Japan said fuck you. We are never working with Anthem Sports ever again because of how you treated Okada.
Yep.
And look at Okada today. He's the best wrestler in the fucking world. They
But you don't
and-
want another
up.
promotion devaluing your top stars. Like that's
Exactly.
just a bad look for
That's
you, right?
exact-
And from
Exactly
what
what
I
happened.
understand, the reason why New Japan split from ROH was basically because there was a lot of disrespect
Mhm.
as far as it comes from like ROH's management towards New Japan's management, and New Japan just finally said, you know what, fuck you. Like that's the way I understand it. Anyway, I'm not quoting that. Don't quote me on that. But when I read the article, that was the way it came off to me. It was as if it definitely was not a pleasant severance. Put it that way.
I also who got signed? We talked about it. The Ring of Honor just signed. They're signing big talent, and for what? Just because they don't want AEW or WWE getting them? They don't have the money to throw around. I can't remember.
India?
Yeah. I guess she's a big up and comer. They don't want people not being involved in their product. I don't know what it is, but
Well,
they're trying to compete with both Ring of Honor and Impact. They're trying to compete with WWE and AEW at the same time, and it's gonna fucking kill them. It's gonna
well,
kill
and
both.
you know, like I want to know what happened back in the day because like WWE used to be affiliated with ROH because that's where most of their talent came from. So I kind of want to know what happened to like break that relationship.
I don't think anything happened. I think they just.
I just think they decided to part ways mutually because
Mhm.
ROH wanted to do its own thing and WWE was
Oh,
like,
okay.
no, you can't.
I
Well,
feel like
because I was
ROH
gonna
used
say
to be
like,
the NXT.
Yeah.
well, yeah, and I was gonna say like a lot of their talent, like that they get still does come from ROH. I know like Adam Cole, for an example, he came
Seth
from ROH.
Rollins.
Yeah,
Rollins came
Seth
from
Rollins, Dean Ambrose was I
Kevin
think he was in
Owens, Daniel
I think
Bryan.
he was in ROH. Yeah, like most of their talent
AJ
did come
Styles.
from ROH, but I haven't seen any come from there lately. But a lot of that probably has to do with NXT, you know, and like I don't pay attention to where the new talent from NXT is coming from, except for like Trevor Lee. I know he came from Impact.
Mhm.
And I think like Keith what's his name?
Keith
Keith Lee.
Lee.
I think
Well-
he came from Impact as well.
No, he came from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Oh, okay. Well, see, that's how much I know.
That's fine.
Where was Mia?
Mia Yim, she came from Impact.
Yeah.
But she was in CZW for a while. She's been all over.
I was gonna say,
She's been
They're
all
all gonna come
she-
from somewhere. Like it's
Right.
not
Yeah.
like you know what I
Right,
mean.
so-
Like WWE's gonna try to get the talent they think that can succeed,
Yep.
or they can use in a certain
see-
role.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Like they're always taking from somewhere because
Yep.
or
But
they're
that was
taking
my-
from yeah.
Sorry, Basement, I'm keep on cutting you off. I'm so sorry, but I was just gonna say, like, to go to what you were saying, that was kind of my point. Was that like back in the day they mainly drew from ROH, and now they're drawing from like all over the place.
They're drawing from Evolve.
But Evolve has that standing agreement with the WWE. Like, yeah, you can take our guys once they reach the pinnacle here. We don't care.
Yeah.
Because you're getting our name out there that way.
Yeah, but Evolve is where they're pulling people like Johnny Gargano. That's where Johnny Gargano came from. Also Ciampa.
Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan started there. Cesaro started there.
Yeah.
That's where they actually started. And Evolve was actually a step under Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
But yeah, New Japan just will continue to do their own thing. I do not want AEW. If AEW wants to succeed, stand on your own 2 feet. Yes, you can affiliate with the smaller people, but have them affiliate with you. You don't affiliate with them.
Well, and the thing is, like, I could see a partnership, but not a partnership, but like an affiliation somewhere down the line. But that's like a way long time down the line. Because, like, I would love to see another Okada versus Kenny Omega match.
I don't think, and I hate to say this, I don't think that will ever happen. New Japan has been screwed over so many fucking times, and it's not
But-
with just the Okada thing. Like WCW years ago,
Yep.
we want to use your guy, and New Japan's like, well, we want to use. Oh, we can't give that guy up.
Yeah, well,
And
See, if
that-
AEW and New Japan make a working partnership, the match that you guys want to see should happen on NJPW, not
Well,
on
and the-
AEW.
Exactly.
I completely agree. And like I was just gonna say, I know that like certain superstars that are signed to AEW, they still have in their contracts that they can go back to New Japan for a couple of matches if they want to. Like I know Kenny Omega's one of them. He can go back and wrestle in New Japan whenever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Dean Ambrose,
John
too.
Moxley has a couple of matches.
But he's the
From what
U.S. champion.
from what I hear, like apparently there's
He
a
needs to lose the title.
supposed Moxley Minoru Suzuki match coming up, or that's rumored anyway. So like
Well,
he
I
has a
know
clause in
Suzuki
his.
challenged him.
Yeah, Suzuki wants him out of the company. Actually.
Yeah.
That's why he's challenging him. Nobody
like-
likes John Moxley.
Well,
Yeah, so like there's a few stars that still have in their contract that they can go back to New Japan, but again, like Basement said, that's going back to New Japan. That's not a match in AEW.
No, I agree.
and in fact, John Moxley is not allowed to perform in any New Japan shows on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that being said, I mean, Impact should not be buying Ring of Honor. In fact, Ring of Honor should not be buying Impact because they can't even pay their own fucking talent right now. from
Yeah,
what I
they're
hear.
having shit time right now.
So they're both on. They're both. They should
Basement
just
that last
become.
night.
They should just
Yeah,
become.
they should just
one,
fuse.
Just
Right.
fuse. Become something. Not Impact.
Ring of Impact.
The rebirth of Global Force Wrestling.
Impact of Honor. I don't fucking
But
know.
like I look at Impact and I always thought this, and I haven't seen too much of it, but I always had this I always thought that Impact was like the B movie version of WWE.
It is.
Oh, the weird
So
cousin.
here's another. I read this today. Guess who's having a fucking another intergender match on fucking Impact? This is what Impact does. They're promoting intergender wrestling on Impact.
They got to do something different than WWE, otherwise they're just never gonna become anything.
But they're having Tessa Blanchard fighting OVE, Ohio versus everything, and that's Sammy Callahan and the Chris brothers. So Tessa Blanchard's taking on 3 guys at one fucking time. Come on.
Sounds like a porno.
Yeah.
Tessa Blanchard's 120, what did they say, 126 pounds? She looks solid, but she's not that big.
I'm not
a
100% against intergender wrestling when it's
they're
done in a bubble and done correctly.
Yeah, they're overdoing
with the
it.
right people. Yeah,
They're
you can't
overdoing
just
it.
have it all every week. Like holy
Yeah,
fuck.
Well, that's essentially what they're doing. And that's gonna kill them like right then and there. So yeah, that's all I have. Anybody got any other news that is out there?
I haven't seen it.
Trek?
The only thing I heard was just that WWE wants to use the CMLL, which is the Mexican Wrestling Library, and that would go into their new tier system that they want to do. If you want to get it, you have to upgrade to the newest tier.
That tells you a
That's
lot
all.
right there. They don't want the talent. They just want the fucking library.
Yep.
That probably where Rey Mysterio came from.
Fuck me.
And also, on the Impact thing, we talked about this before. That I said the fact that they bought Access TV and all of a sudden they shut down the Access offices. They're gonna overhaul everything like that. They can't pay their own fucking talent, but they're buying out TV stations. It's getting a little.
They're not buying anything. What do you mean?
They bought Access TV. They bought the majority stake.
Who did?
Impact. Or Anthem.
Anthem Sports.
Anthem.
Well, Anthem Sports
That's completely different.
is the company that owns Impact. They're essentially trying to be WCW.
Yes.
And you've seen how well that worked.
Yeah.
That's the higher ups. Whatever his fucking name is, the sports director there, the guy's a fucking idiot. Like he thinks he knows wrestling. I mean, they do have Cyrus. If you all know who Cyrus is, he was the color commentator for New Japan with Kevin Kelly.
Cyrus the Virus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he
was a booker
works.
in WCW.
He is the booker in Impact.
Impact.
Yeah.
He is the guy. He is the guy that books all the matches. But you can have one guy. And he's a great booker. He was a booker in New Japan, and you've seen the matches that he booked.
He was in ECW too for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't just rely on one guy to pull you out of the fucking.
No. You need a team to actually pull together.
He's trying to be Paul Heyman, where Paul Heyman didn't have.
Well, look how it worked out for Paul Heyman.
Exactly.
He had to fold his company and become something else for somebody else.
Yep. So yeah.
Well, look how bad it turned out when they tried to get when they got Vince Russo and Oklahoma, or Ed Ferrer, or whatever his name was. It just went down the shit tubes because that was also because that Turner wouldn't give them time to change. It needed time to change, and they wanted instant gratification.
Oh, you're talking. Okay, I was like, talking about Impact here. Because I don't think that was on Impact. That was on WCW.
Yeah, WCW. But then TNA brought Russo in, and that kind of backfired on too. Especially when that email leaked out from Dixie saying that she had him with her, and she pretty much got kicked off Spike TV for doing that because she lied to their faces.
Okay, well, we'll get into that some other time. But does anybody else have anything else they'd like to add? Dory?
I have Dory, do you have anything?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so I saw on Twitter there was like a little video of Cain Velasquez wrestling and some AAA Lucha Libre shit.
Yeah.
Did you guys see that or no?
No. But go ahead.
I saw a little bit of it.
Apparently, there was like news about him deciding whether he wants to go to WWE or AEW.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's what, like 38 years old or something?
He's the same age as Brock Lesnar.
I think he's younger than Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, well, they're right around the same age. Sorry, didn't mean to blow up. Jesus, hashtag fuck me. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
So yeah, like I was watching this. He's wrestling in a lucha mask and he's doing all these fucking lucha moves and shit. And I don't know when he started wrestling. Seems like 12 days ago. But he was actually pretty good, man. For like in like the 10-second, 12-second clip I saw,
Yeah.
Moves around the ring pretty good. He doesn't look very good, like physically.
Cain Velasquez is the last guy that when Brock Lesnar lost his title, that's who Brock Lesnar lost to. And it wasn't Brock Lesnar got his ass fucking beat by Cain Velasquez.
But it's so weird for a guy that's like, he's got to be in the same weight class as Brock, right?
Yes. He's 250, 260, somewhere in there.
If you watch it, he moves around really well for that size. I mean, you don't really see it.
Yes.
Because who he's wrestling against is big too. But like,
well, no,
I don't know.
I'm just letting everybody know who Cain Velasquez is. And I think it was a couple of years ago, there was a tweet out that Cain Velasquez wants to beat Brock Lesnar's ass again. Where is Brock Lesnar? It's in WWE. We'll see, though. I don't know. Either way.
I mean, I find it interesting to have like a UFC fighter come in. The first thing he wants to do is something so different than what he's used to and do the flippy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, it could add to a repertoire of something. Though he's a bit too old to kind of be pushed. I feel like if he goes to WWE, that's a match they'll want to book.
Oh, of course.
And
but
honestly, for him to have the gumption to sit there and change up his style like that says a lot.
Well,
and he's pretty good. Like he moves pretty good. It was surprising. I thought he was going to be a lumbering piece of shit.
I mean, it takes a lot for. I mean, I don't think he's that old, but it's even still, it takes a lot for him to completely change everything that he is used to, and the fact that he's good at it as well. It just goes to how incredible of an athlete he is. And like, to me, I haven't seen the guy, but to me, it sounds kind of like you're describing sort of like a Matt Riddle kind of, because like Matt Riddle, yeah, he's more technical, but he also can do the rope jumps and all that shit as well.
Yeah.
You've seen this guy doing like jumping off the mid rope with arm drags and doing Hurricane Ranas and stuff like that. It's, I don't know. It kind of was like, what the fuck? But I don't really expect anything from him anyway. But like,
but that's refreshing.
it was a talking point, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's refreshing to see as well because like whenever you see anybody bring something that you're not expecting from them is just it's a breath of fresh air.
Well, I could just see it now. I can see the headlines now with on Twitter with fucking people. Oh, Cain Velasquez is coming to WWE. Oh, great, another fucking Brock Lesnar. He's gonna fucking book him to fucking beat the fucking shit out of everybody. If he's as good as advertised, I haven't seen him wrestle, but for as good as he was in UFC, he was able to move.
So it is impossible for me to say how good the guy is. I only saw like a 20-second clip of him wrestling.
I'd have to.
I think he will probably go with AEW because if he comes to WWE, they're not going to want him to wrestle Lucha Libre.
Right. They're gonna want somebody to go up against Brock,
Yeah.
and that's gonna require more of the boxing mentality.
Like a power move set, a ground and pound.
But he was a submission specialist.
And I saw none of that. The guy was
Well, that's
freaking
what
bouncing all over the
he I can't remember if he knocked out Brock or whatever he did, but he can do it. He's jujitsu, I think.
And that is something that I would love to see because knowing that he was a submission specialist in the UFC and he's more like lucha libre style in wrestling, you still know that like even though you're seeing him do these high flying moves and all this stuff, you still know that he has that submission repertoire that he can pull from at any given point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's why I
you
was so
never really know
interested
what
in-
he's gonna bring.
That's why I was so interested when I saw him. I was thinking, okay, it's a guy coming over from UFC. If it was WWE, he's going to be doing a lot of the takedowns and submission hold, a lot of the same moveset, just doing it in wrestling.
Mhm.
But it was completely different, and I was like, that's strange.
Yep. No, that I heard that he was. I heard he was actually at the Performance Center for a little bit too,
He was.
and WWE is still interested. Like, yeah, they're
I think he
so-
might have left on his own. I don't think they were like goodbye.
right.
You can't imagine WWE has Cain Velasquez there, and they have a storyline in the making, and they're like, okay, goodbye.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. But I would like to see him see what he can do. Now I don't know what he can do in AEW. AEW probably have more freedom, but because we all know WWE, you gotta have spot A to spot B to spot C to finish A to finish B to finish C.
I feel like in AEW they would be more like, show us what you got, do your full move set instead of you have the 5 moves of doom.
Right. Nope, I agree. No,
And I understand it though. It's easier to market the 5 moves of doom. That's why they do it.
Yep. No, I get it. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Nope.
Trek, Bobbit.
I've seen a little bit of what the guy could do. He's actually quite good, and if he did leave on his own, you'd have to imagine that WWE may have an offer and it was just bigger in AEW or so. But it's like never say never. I could see him
But he
coming.
hasn't signed with AEW.
No, he left to go to AAA Lucha Libre in Mexico or some
right.
shit.
He
Like
was at Triple Mania. That's where I said. Thank you. I have the brain part. Yeah, he was at Triple Mania last week or 2 weeks ago. He actually pulled off a pretty good. I think it was in Seguri, and he actually pulled it out pretty well. So everybody's just shit themselves. But I mean, he's not horrible. He's pretty good.
Okay.
the crazy part is they had him wrestle in a mask, and you think like you have the name of like a popular UFC guy, you put him in a mask.
Right.
But whatever.
I don't know why they would put a mask on him though.
It was probably his choice to be put in a mask. In case he fucked up. It's
Right.
like, who the fuck was that guy?
So the moment that we've all been, anybody else got anything else? I'm sorry. Thanks for bringing that up because I didn't. I haven't had much time to look at news. Sorry. Otherwise, I would have been all over it.
I just randomly saw it on Twitter, man.
Oh, okay. So that being said, the reason that we're here. Well, we were here to talk about what we talked about. Let's talk about the Clash of Champions. Now we're gonna do match by match. I'm not. If you want to talk about why you're picking who you're picking, I might ask why you're picking who you're picking. But you don't have to. I would prefer you did. Just picking somebody to pick somebody just doesn't make sense. Now, this isn't in any direct order. So, because actually, the first match that I have on here is actually up on the card. I just overlooked it for some reason. The Intercontinental title, Shinsuke Nakamura versus The Miz. I'm going with I'm going with Shinsuke. I don't see Shinsuke losing the title, because then they would have both the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title on Raw. Because the draft isn't happening for another month, which is happening the 11th and the 14th, I think.
I mean, even if it was even that, regardless of that, it just doesn't make sense to move it off of him. They've got Sami Zayn in his corner, and that's a storyline budding to become something. The Miz winning it does nothing for anybody.
No, I think the Miz won't win because his other daughter is on the way, and he was talking about taking some time off. So, I mean, this would be a really good way for the two of them just to slaughter Miz for him to go away for a little bit.
I wouldn't say slaughter Miz, but.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Shinsuke as well. I agree with what Basement said. They have Sami Zayn in his corner, and that is leading to an excellent storyline in itself. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite matches of all time, and I was talking to Basement about this last night. Actually, was one of my favorite matches of all time was Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
If they can do that again and actually do it right, fucking fantastic. And then to throw in, the title for that as well, that'd be great. But anyways. Shinsuke.
Right. I agree, Shinsuke, for that simple reason alone. They need to build a feud between those two somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Dory, you said Shinsuke, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, Shinsuke. They just started. What was it, 2 weeks ago? They just started at a storyline with him and Sammy, with Shinsuke and Sammy 2 or 3 weeks ago. They're not going to just yank the belt off on that soon. I could see them writing Miz off for a while, but I don't think they'd even do that. I think he'd stay around, at least do the Miz TV. I don't know if he'd wrestle too much with this kid coming up, but I could see him just doing the interview segments. But yeah, Shinsuke.
I just don't see them throwing away this stuff with Shinsuke, because they just did it with him and Ali, and they really dropped the ball with that. So I don't think they would do it twice in a row.
Well,
it is WWE.
That's what I was just gonna say.
Remember, they put the U.S. title on him. They dropped the fucking ball on that, big time. So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised that they don't put it on the fucking Miz, and then put it on fucking Sami Zayn, and then Shinsuke becomes jealous or whatever. I don't know.
The thing is, we're thinking logically, and not like
WWE never does anything logically.
Bobbit, what about you?
Good talk, buddy.
Bobbit.
He's busy mastering his joystick.
All right.
Fuck himself in the corner.
Next match. Cruiserweight Championship. Drew Gulak versus Humberto Carrillo versus Lince Dorado. I don't care.
I'm with you 100%.
I actually think that this is going to be a great match. It's going to be a fantastic match. The fucking Humberto is insanely fucking talented.
I don't care.
I've never seen him.
Oh my god, he's so good.
No, honestly, I agree with Gina. This is going to be a really, really good match. I think it'll be a dark horse match. A lot of people won't expect it to be good, but I don't think they're going to take the title off of Gulak. I think it's just going to be a showcase.
They're going to give them the time to actually make it a good match.
They might give them 20 minutes if it's on pre-show.
It is on pre-show.
I don't think that's going to happen.
They've done it before.
They have done it before, but
This card has 11 matches. This pay-per-view has 11 matches. I see 2 on the pre-show. The pre-show is only an hour long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but for example, the women's tag, how long are you going to give that? 10 minutes?
Probably the same amount of time they're going to give the cruiserweight. The thing is, the championship means nothing to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't 205 Live is dead in the water.
Yeah,
I think it'll be a great opportunity to showcase what those people can do, because some of these, again, I don't remember his name because I've only been watching the last couple of weeks, but this newer guy, he's a rising star. Why not showcase them?
I will say, like, I don't believe like putting something on the pre-show is showcasing anything because
But
when you
pre-show's
watch
free.
it, well, but also, yeah, I understand. Like, maybe for the viewers at home and stuff, but when you watch it, you just get the idea that it's not important because half the stadium's empty and nobody's really invested because they're still coming in.
They didn't do that at SummerSlam though. At SummerSlam, they actually waited.
You know what though?
SummerSlam
Like
Live
I
had
do
big
agree. I
minutes.
do agree with Basement in that sense because like 90% of the time, because I've been at live pay-per-views before, and 90% of the time they do start the pre-show before people are even seated. Like at TOC, I literally like I wasn't even in the gate yet when the fucking first pre-show match started.
I'm also thinking this will probably be the first match on the pre-show.
No,
I hope not. Like I
don't
hope
think
it's
so.
the last
it'll be
match.
the only match on the pre-show.
It'll be the only match.
I don't think so. I think that the women's tag team championship.
That'll get a whopping 2 minutes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so cruiserweight. Who was it again? Gulak, Umberto, and who?
Lindsay Dorado.
Lindsay Dorado.
Oh well, fuck him.
Grand Metalik, Rey
No,
Mysterio. Oh, they're all the same person.
I'm going with your.
Same.
Gulak.
I just don't know. Like Umberto, I
205
probably
Live-
would go with if he was
205
like
Live,
more
from
normal.
what I heard, and Triple H said it just real quick on that little note. Triple H said that it is going away.
It's getting absorbed into
It's
NXT.
getting absorbed into NXT. So NXT is going to become 205 Live, just so everybody fucking knows.
Not
It's
really.
gonna have 205 live people, and hopefully they don't wrestle each other.
Well, they will be.
Well, I mean, the other thing too, you got to think about NXT talent. Like they don't really like. You got Johnny Gargano, who's 205 talent, basically.
Yes.
So like, if they use it, if they're able to use them that way, then I'm fine with it. That's actually what I always wanted to have with 205 Live. I always wanted it to follow NXT on the network, but whatever.
Dory?
I'm going with Drew Gulak.
Truck.
I don't think they're going to take the belt off as soon as Drew Gulak.
And one more time. Bobbit.
Yo, motherfucker.
I'm actually gonna go with. I'm gonna go off the grain here and say Umberto.
Yo, what's up?
Why not?
Jesus
About
Christ,
fucking
Bobbit.
behind. You're 2 picks behind.
God damn it, Bobbit. You ready?
What?
Intercontinental title. Shinsuke
Yeah, I'm ready.
versus fucking The Miz. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with I am awake. Shinsuke, motherfucker.
Nobody said anything about fucking you being awake. God damn it.
Cruiserweight Championship. Gulak, Lindsay, or Umberto?
Gulak.
All right.
Okay. Heather, who did you say for that one?
I'm sticking with Gulak.
Okay.
Next match. And I think this is actually going to kick off the show because, you know, WWE, they got to have that really good match to kick off the fucking show. U.S. title, AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander.
Mm.
Going with AJ. They can't. The only way that they can save this fucking faction bullshit is if they keep the title on AJ and have, and I'm gonna call it now, and have fucking fuck, they aren't even wrestling. Never mind. But AJ Styles needs to retain, or else I don't want to see the fucking OC together.
I gotta go pee.
Done with it.
I agree. Bobbit, you said you agreed?
He said I gotta go pee.
Oh, okay.
Gina, you're going the same.
Who is it again? AJ versus who?
AJ versus Cedric Alexander.
Oh God, I would love to see Cedric win here, but it's got to be AJ.
Yeah, if they take the title off of AJ, then I don't want to hear about the OC ever again. Done with them.
See, and that really sucks too, because like Cedric is such an amazing fucking like athlete. So why would they put him in a situation? Oh my God, never mind.
Because it's AJ's last ride. They're going to take the belt off of him in the last minute.
He ain't done.
Yeah.
No, AJ will wrestle for the next 5 years somehow.
He's not re-signing after this contract.
Yeah, he signed for fucking 5 years.
I'm going with AJ Styles. I think too that we're gonna have a screw finish so that Cedric gets a rematch, and I think that's when they'll drop it, and it'll be the OC's fault.
I'm gonna say I can see
I don't
them
want
doing
it,
it.
but
I
that's
can
what I can see
see
them
them
doing.
doing it, but I don't want them to do it because that makes AJ look weak. AJ, this faction, in order for this faction to work, they need to make them start looking strong. They've already killed them.
Right,
Why
but
kill
the
them? Why bury them even more than they already are?
well, the problem is everybody's got to lose sometime, but the problem is they made Carl Anderson and why the fuck can I never remember the other-
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows.
Luke Gallows, thank you. They made them drop the tag titles way too fast, and it made them look so
And for
fucking bad.
what?
But it was
For
all to
what
advance
purpose?
the fucking story with
But the story is crap.
Ricochet.
Well, I understand that basement.
So like the way I figure it is they already made the faction look like shit. So if AJ loses, it's not going to be any skin off my back really, because like he's losing to an amazing competitor, Cedric Alexander. Like I've seen the dude live. He is insanely talented. So if he wins, I'm not going to be that disappointed.
How was he on the mic?
He's great on the mic too,
He's
actually.
okay.
Like he's pretty good.
Not great. Come on.
Like he was pretty damn good when we were at
I'm gonna
TLC.
say,
Like
in no
Austin's,
world should AJ Styles lose to Cedric Alexander.
but I'm just
and
saying,
nor
like
should
Austin.
he need help to do so.
I'm just
when he
saying,
wins.
like my son Austin is very, very critical when it comes to wrestlers now, and he like loved Cedric Alexander when we were
I
there.
agree with you. Cedric Alexander is a good talent, and I think they've been pushing him. And this is a push. Even if he loses, this is still a push. He's wrestling AJ Styles at Clash of Champions. That's huge
Agreed.
for a guy that was pigeonholed on 205 Live. I do not see him winning. AJ Styles, in my opinion, has to win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that the OC is completely dead.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
They have no credible anything.
Right.
And it makes his world title run that much less of a fucking. I hate to say that. That's just my observation. Nobody has to agree with it. They take this guy, and yes, he's on his last leg. He's on his last contract, but I just want to have fun. Well, that's fine. But don't you think you were just a world champion a year ago? You're one of the best wrestlers in the world. You want to be booked as such, not as a fucking
Stooge.
But if you're on your last contract and your contract's 5 years long, you're not necessarily on your last legs.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean.
Like John Cena was towards the end in the last year and a half. He was kind of helping everybody out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
that I could see happening in the last year and a half for AJ Styles.
No,
but
I was
now.
No. I was just actually going to say AJ Styles, like he has gone on record stating that he has lived his heyday, and he's basically his main concern now is he wants to help advance the talent while he is still there.
Then why did he sign a long extended contract?
He's too big of a name.
Because it's money,
JP.
It's money.
I get it's money, but
WWE.
he's one of the best wrestlers in the world, and for him to come out and say that, it's just fuck AJ.
He's too big of a name, and he's too popular to be jobbing out to people right now.
Yeah.
WWE is extending everybody's contracts to like 3 to 5 years because they don't want year to 2 year contracts. Majority of all the people who are re-signing are having to do that.
I'm not arguing that point, and that's
But
fine. But
AJ Styles turns into Samoa Joe. He's not going to be selling his gloves. He's not going to be selling his shirts. Nobody's going to want to buy his shit, and that's a huge loss for the company as a whole.
Exactly.
I do not see him losing this match. It makes no sense for him to lose this match.
I agree.
Trek?
It's AJ Styles. I mean, they just did the same thing with Ricochet, to just pull the title off him. And then, so I don't think they're going to do it again. I think AJ's going to keep it for a while.
AJ's going to should keep it for a while.
AJ should be U.S. champion going into the brand split.
Bobbit? It is when he comes back.
That's a fucking long ass.
Ah, there you go. I couldn't get the microphone thing unmuted. Anyway, this is my bold prediction of the evening. I know. I'm gonna go Cedric.
Okay.
But why?
Why?
I'm going bold.
But why, Bobbit? Why?
Go get the green.
I just got this funny feeling they're going to pull they're going to put the belt on Cedric.
So let's bury AJ Styles. Okay, that's a good idea.
Like I said, even if Cedric wins at this point in time, in my opinion, they've already buried the faction. So it's not.
I see where you're coming from. I
It's
actually
not going to
agree with you.
be anything big for me. I mean, it's AJ Styles. You're never gonna bury AJ fucking Styles.
It's almost impossible to do, but I will Gina. I can see if he wins, I'm not going to be upset or anything. Cedric Alexander, because I like Cedric Alexander. I've always liked him, even in 205 in the Cruiserweight Classic. I love the guy, and so did everybody else.
Yeah, and that's why he got signed, because he was such a crowd favorite.
Because he has a good combination of he does the flippy stuff, but he also hits hard when he needs to. It's not just fucking planchas and fucking moonsaults.
Right.
All right. SmackDown Tag Team titles: The New Day versus the Revival.
Can't wait for this one.
I think Revival's going to take it back.
I hope not.
With the stuff with Orton, I think they're going to put the belts back on them.
I agree.
I am looking
Not
the
that
other
I want to
way.
see it, but at the same time, too, think of it. How often have you seen New Day on TV as a tag team recently?
I actually think the New Day is going to win, and it leads into why I think Kofi's going to lose.
Yep. I agree. Going with the New Day.
I'll explain when we get to Kofi's match.
I'm just going to say this. I don't want to see the Revival with Randy Orton. Ever. It's stupid.
No, but it's happening. Like,
it's happening.
we
I
like
understand.
You're going to
it's
see it.
fucking
You're going to
happening.
have to.
I don't want to fucking see it. Bot Trek?
New Day, they just put them at a disadvantage so they could come back and beat the odds.
What do you mean at a disadvantage?
Like that they had Xavier Woods get knocked out of action for a couple weeks, so they had Orton and the Revival look strong. So I think they're going to have New Day come back and defeat them and make them look stronger.
He's got a point.
Gina?
What? I'm sorry, I was talking to my son. I'm sorry. Are we still on the Revival?
Yes. New Day Revival.
Yes, I said Revival.
Oh. Bobbit?
I'm going New Day.
Nori, you're going with Revival, right?
Yep.
Okay, fuck, I missed everybody.
Basement and I are going with the New Day.
I got it, Gina. You're good.
Yeah,
okay.
Heather's got it.
Okay, so you and Basement are going New Day and everybody else is Revival.
I think so. No, I think no, Trek's going New Day as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Bobbit went New Day too.
Oh, yeah, Bobbit went New Day.
Yeah, I got him.
Okay.
Women's tag team titles: Alexa and Nikki versus Mandy and Sonya Deville, or Fire and Desire.
I wish they would just all be fired simultaneously.
They ain't taking titles off Alexa and Nikki.
I like Nikki.
I think they're going to put it on Fire and Desire because, and again, I know this shouldn't be a reason, but she's like Sonya Deville's on the new upcoming episode of season of Total Divas, and they're super pushing her even on their social media. So
it's not even that factor. It's the factor of AEW is all inclusive, and WWE. I don't want to see this from them, but I have a feeling you're gonna see Fire and Desire get pushed because Sonya is openly lesbian, and that's gonna push the agenda.
NXT
well, that's why
did it first.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
What are you talking about?
NXT did it first.
What the fuck are you yelling for?
Is Shayna
Lesbians for
Baszler
everyone.
a lesbian as
No,
well?
I don't think so.
No, Shayna Baszler's not a lesbian.
Well, good God.
Not an open lesbian anyway.
But Gina, I can see what you're saying because for Total Divas, they did this whole segment which was recorded of them going to Pride and really pushing Pride.
I think that they're trying to push the agenda that they are all inclusive, and we've all known this because WWE, they've had gay wrestlers wrestling. It's just they never put a focal point on it.
They never felt the need to.
There's no need to.
Yeah,
I agree.
This is what I hate. It's commercializing someone's fucking want to have sex with the same sex. It's
I completely agree with you guys. I don't think that there's a need to, but AEW is doing it. So
that's gonna hurt them. It's going to hurt him in the long run.
I completely agree. But because they are going so public with their all-inclusiveness, WWE is going to want to make sure that people know, hey, we're inclusive as well.
But even if that's not the reason, I just think they need to take the belts off Nikki and Alexa because they're not really a tag team. They were just two people that were kind of thrown together. Like, at least Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville have been a tag team for quite a while.
I feel like there's a storyline. Sorry, go ahead, JP.
I was just going to say, but you got to remember, they were just thrown together as well.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't always been together.
They've been together longer than Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Well, yeah, they're doing
this is WWE's tag team division.
And they're best
together.
friends, so it makes more sense that they would be a better tag team.
I do feel like there's more of a storyline with Fire and Desire, just simply because like they do the YouTube show where those with the fucking donuts and all that stuff. Like there's more exposure for them actually being best friends than there is for Nikki.
You're also forgetting one important fact.
What's that?
Alexa Bliss.
That's true. Alexa Bliss is huge.
Do you honestly fucking think WWE is going to take the title off of Alexa Bliss and put them on two people, especially one person that really isn't that great, but is getting better? And I'm talking about Mandy Rose, just to push an agenda. I don't know. I don't see.
I don't know, but if you think about it, like if they do, like Alexa will probably go right back up to the main championship and go against somebody like Sasha.
I don't think that they can have her in the main championship, though, because she is so freaking accident prone with her concussions.
Okay, so there's a storyline between Alexa and Nikki of this super fan type of thing they're doing with Nikki that has to pay off at some point. Yeah. And it's unless it pays off in this match, and that's why they lose, and they turn on each other, I can see that, but not for this match. So I'm going to go with... Nikki and Alexa, because
I can see it. The Kabuki Warriors somehow, some way, getting thrown back into it, and they lose to them when Paige comes back. Because Paige should be coming back soon.
Mm-hmm. I also feel like you put the titles on Mandy and Sonya, who like they nobody already cares about the titles, but now you have nobody that can actually speak. I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm. At least
even
Alexa
with the Kabuki
Bliss
Warriors, they have Paige.
At least Alexa Bliss can speak.
Yeah,
I'll give her that.
I think it's going to be Alexa winning it, even though I can understand people saying the opposite. There's a good argument for the opposite as well. This might be one of those 50-50s, but I'm still going to go with Alexa because Alexa's got to hold titles.
Yep, I agree.
Well, that's because she's one of their top female merch sellers.
Exactly.
I'm going with Alexa and Nikki as well. Trek?
I'm going with Mandy and Sonya because, like it was brought up, they're going to push that onto all divas, and you know that they use that to blend storyline, so it wouldn't surprise me if they win it.
And I feel like this is the belt to use as, like, a marketing tool for that show.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, they can wait a little bit.
I'm still going with Alexa.
Waited since then. It hasn't happened for a while. They shoot their load off pretty fast nowadays.
They can wait.
Heather, are you going Alexa and Nikki as well?
No, I'm going Fire and Desire because those tag titles like to be hot potatoes.
Yep.
It's not even for an agenda or for total divas. It's just they don't like keeping those belts on the same people for too long for some reason.
So in order for this to happen, in order for Fire and Desire to win, they have to pull the trigger.
Before that.
They have to pull the trigger on the Alexa Bliss Nikki storyline. Yeah. Otherwise, nothing makes sense.
I agree with you. The thing is, Sasha and Bayley, look at where Sasha and Bayley are now. Okay.
But you can also, here's the thing, you have a Nikki and Alexa feud for the next month, and then have it end at that pay-per-view right before the brand.
That's fine. But this whole Sasha and Bayley thing is a fucking storyline. The whole thing is a storyline.
Everything's a storyline.
Yeah, technically.
No, I know, but I don't think that this Sasha throwing a fit on the fucking floor at WrestleMania is an actual real thing.
Oh no, she's just. But I'm sure there's an ounce of truth in it, but it's been exploded to the fact that they're just capitalizing on social media outrage.
probably had a fit backstage, but I don't see her throwing herself on the floor.
I don't think she even had a fit backstage. She probably mentioned to certain people that she was kind of unhappy with the way things were going.
That she was sick of this shit or something.
And it was probably very subtle. It was probably nothing like what people are saying.
Exactly.
And then you're like, take some time off. We're going to rework your character, and you'll be happy.
Yep.
Yeah. Shoot me now, but I'm going to go with Fire and Desire because, like Heather said, they are bouncing those titles all around.
I can see either of these teams winning, so this is going to be one of those matches.
I want to put this on record. I do not want Fire and Desire to win. I fucking cannot stand. I can't stand Mandy Rose. I cannot.
She's not that bad in ring, man. She's not that bad in ring. I hate Sonya Deville more.
She's fucking terrible on the mic.
She is terrible on the mic. Sonya Deville.
Terrible on the mic.
Sonya Deville, at least, she has. I don't know.
Sonya Deville
has the capability in the ring. Mandy Rose is just fuck up. Just
Sonya
fuck up.
Deville is Becky Lynch trying to pull off a character she can't pull off. She doesn't come off as badass to me at all.
But she is badass though, because she's former MMA.
She's not.
No,
she's not.
No, she's not.
No, she's not. That's her character.
I thought she had like some sort of MMA jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, she does. Yeah,
it's a bad record. She's an MMA record.
She never won a match.
Well, even still, she's MMA. It doesn't matter if she won a match or not. She's still MMA.
No, when you have legit actual, I don't know.
Oh my god! Regardless of which, Fire and Desire.
What's your choice?
Heather.
When this ends up being another 5-hour stream.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's get her done.
Don't tell me what to do.
Oh, end the stream right here.
Oh, okay, motherfucker.
I will end you.
Bob it.
Do me, JP. Do me.
Bob it.
Oh, I was waiting. Let's see. I'm gonna go with Nikki and Alexa.
Okay.
Are we split like right down the middle for that one?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
No.
It's
Close?
3-4.
It's close.
The Raw Tag Team titles. Braun versus Rude and Ziggler.
Rude and Ziggler.
Rude and Ziggler. Rude and Ziggler.
Because this is going to lead to Seth and Braun having beef with each other, which makes their match more important.
But nobody cares.
Is everybody in agreement that it'll be probably Rude and Ziggler?
Yep.
Pretty much.
I guess.
Oh.
Bob it.
Yeah.
But they're a thrown together tag team.
Yeah, I agree. Rude and Ziggler.
Yeah, and agree with it, but whatever.
This is two tag teams made in the last 3 weeks fighting for the title.
Yep.
Like fuck off, WWE.
They're telling
They're the glorious showstoppers.
Oh my god.
They're telling the Stone Cold and fucking Shawn Michaels fucking story over.
What they're telling me
glorious
is something I don't want to
showstoppers,
see.
you guys. How can you not get behind this shit? Come on.
I thought they were Rudolph.
Rudolph too.
That's pretty good. I thought they were the main eventers.
No.
Oh my god. Anyways.
It's Rude and Ziggler.
Yep. I think everybody.
Ziggler loses in the come back. I'm not done with you. Beat me more.
It should have been me.
The next match, SmackDown Women's Title, Bayley versus Charlotte. Bayley is the champion. Now, Bayley's the heel, apparently. I'm still trying to figure out what the fuck Charlotte is. Still acting heelish, but whatever.
She's turning into a fucking creature slowly.
I'm gonna give this one to Charlotte.
I'm going Bayley.
I'm going Bayley.
I'm gonna go Bayley as well.
I don't know. They keep pushing the 10-time champion thing.
10-time champion in a year.
They've been pushing that for 6 months now.
She's gonna be 70-time champion by the time she retires.
Right.
Agreed.
And she's also gonna look the exact same.
I'm not saying that Charlotte won't win it. She just won't win it here.
No, Bayley will win with heelish tactics, solidifying her heel turn.
Yeah, I think Sasha's gonna somehow.
Even if Sasha doesn't interfere,
there.
she might hit her with a chair or with the belt or something. I don't know.
You said it'll be disqualification.
Yeah, that actually is probably much more likely.
Bayley with the.
So if we say Bayley wins and she disqualifies herself, how does that work?
That would be Charlotte would win.
Charlotte wins, but by disqualification.
I'm
But she
gonna
wouldn't get the
go
belt.
with you on that.
Wait, you guys are changing Charlotte wins by disqualification?
Yep.
Actually, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because then you could do a
Okay,
rematch really easy.
Because Charlotte can't be hurt.
Charlotte by
It's too much plastic.
She is like the T1000, man. I'm telling you.
She's
Hit her, the chair bounces off her
Give me your
face.
clothes.
She's a
All
female
rubber.
Seth Rollins.
I'm actually going to change
She's
mine
not
as well
the female
to
Seth Rollins. She
to
is
Charlotte
a.
by disqualification.
I'm telling you, she's the T1000 or whatever the fucking Terminator was.
Yeah.
Give me your clothes and your motorcycle. I got this WrestleMania.
Track.
I see Charlotte winning by DQ because nobody ever wins the title in their hometown anymore. And not only that, I hate to say this, but she might be punished because of what her dad's doing.
No.
She's actually angry at her
They
dad
can't
right
punish
now.
him to punish her.
No,
Yeah,
they're
Why
not
would
going
they
to punish
punish
Charlotte.
her
They
when
would
she's
be
come
fucking
out,
stupid.
Trek, and said that she is pissed off at her dad?
But she's
not
also
only
like
that, but
huge
It
for
doesn't
them.
mean Vince won't do it. Vince
that
will
does,
do
not
what
only
he
that,
wants
Trek,
to
but
do.
no, but Trek, think
I
about
mean,
it. Charlotte
they
is
could,
one of their
they could.
top superstars. She is
So
one
is
of not
Roman
just
Reigns.
the women,
Punished him a
not
little bit.
not just the women superstars. She is one of their top superstars. Period. Like
Yeah.
she is a
That's-
huge selling point. They are not going to punish her.
No.
They've done it before to other people who have been top superstars. They punished Orton because of his dad and his hepatitis C bullshit. They punished him and had him lose their Taker. They've
first of
done
all,
it before.
Okay, but hold on. But with that, you're talking about somebody that like deliberately could have given a shit ton of people hepatitis C. Okay, Ric Flair is like.
I'm just saying,
and it's
Vince
not
holds
like
a grudge.
There's
It's not
also
like
a huge.
I
There's
don't think
also-
they would let that be a deciding factor in a
Give
championship match.
me your clothes and your motorcycle.
Correct. There's a huge factor in this as well. Charlotte is not speaking to her father right now because of this.
Mm-hmm.
She
But you
is
know
mad
what?
at him for
That's
doing
super
this.
fucked up because
right.
he's not necessarily wrong.
No, he's not.
But
But
not
it's
only
not going to
that,
this debate again.
but not only that, just
Happening.
just real quickly. Not only that, but Ric Flair has not said anything like horrible about WWE. He has not attacked WWE.
Nope.
Basically, he
just
went
said-
about it in like a very, very respectful manner. That like he even said, "I don't have any ill will against WWE. I don't want to have to take them to court over this."
Right, and I get that, but if he can't punish Rick, he'll punish the next person, and that's Charlotte.
Oh my God, you like
Why
everybody
would
thinks
he
Vince
that.
Vince holds
Everybody-
a grudge. Look what he did with Savage. Vince holds a
But
grudge.
the thing is,
Two different
everybody.
fucking situations, Trap.
But this could already be figured out between him and Flair. Like, it might already be
Everybody-
done.
Yeah,
what it
everybody
is
has
they're going to
this,
pay
like,
him
villain.
because they have to.
Everybody paints Vince McMahon as this huge fucking villain, when in reality he's just an old man. I mean,
He's an old man villain.
He's not
I know,
going
I'm
to punish
just saying, though,
Charlotte
that he
Flair
does hold a
over
grudge.
this. He's not going to punish anybody.
okay.
But
Anyway,
But Charlotte shouldn't win this match anyway, so whatever.
No.
Fine, and she loses in her hometown. She wins by DQ, but she does win the title because nobody wins the title in their hometown anymore.
Nobody
Okay.
wins the town in their hometown.
Nobody wins
Title.
the title in their hometown.
Didn't Seth win
understood
one
what he said.
recently in his hometown?
I do.
Bobby.
thank you, Heather.
Sorry.
Third time
Sure,
trying
by
this.
disqualification.
Okay.
Heather, are you in agreement there?
Yes, I am.
And I don't want to hear, and I don't want to fucking hear, I'm sorry, I want to say this now, and I don't want to hear that if Charlotte does lose clean, I don't want to hear, see, I told you so. How do
I told you
fucking
so.
know?
That.
I'm gonna say I told
Next.
you so just because he said it is on here.
She's being punished. The first tweet I'm going to make.
Fucking
She's
so
being
sad.
WWE punishing her.
Roman,
I-
I
JP
can make
Baker.
fun of, but if somebody else brought it up, you don't rip on them.
No,
The fuck I
Trek, we're
don't.
not. Hold on, Trek. We're not trying to rip on you.
No,
It's
I'm
just
actually
that,
not.
like,
I actually
Somebody's
do in
butt
some
hurt.
way. I
We
do
got
in
butt
some
hurt.
way
I'm not hurt
agree with
because I'm
Trek.
tired of getting made fun of.
Yeah,
nobody's fucking
JP.
making fun of you.
Damn it.
Well, this is fun.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I actually do agree with Trek. I mean, I can see it happening. It's not out of this world. They've done stupider things.
No, I agree. I don't see them punishing her for this.
Regardless of
she-
which, can we move on?
Sorry,
Yes,
okay?
please.
I apologize.
Don't fucking apologize. It's no big deal.
We're all
The next
happy.
match is Roman Reigns versus Eric Rowan.
Who cares?
Roman Reigns will win this.
Listen, I've seen the same fucking promo 7,000
I know that
times. It
promo,
better
yeah.
pay off.
I'm not writing. I wrote mine down.
I know it. For people to say that they aren't pushing Roman, you're wrong. They are.
Right,
They're
right.
just pushing
It's
it
gonna
more
be Roman
subtly.
here.
They're just pushing it more silent, and it's a little bit more organic.
Well,
Yeah,
it's-
and I
it's
love this
more
push.
palatable.
I love this minus the promo packages. Every
I
week,
agree.
hate
five
the
times a show.
story. I
No,
hate
but
the
what-
story.
Story
It was
don't
good
make
when it
sense.
started. It was
And
good when
and
it started, and then I don't know where it went.
and when I say that I love this push from Roman, it's like not what they're doing. It's just the organic push. You know, they're not shoving him down our throats. That's what I love about it. The actual storyline, fuck off.
Yeah, the storyline is
Yes.
garbage.
So
They
Roman
tried-
Reigns
they-
is going to
they-
lose.
They tried, but they fucked. They fucked the
So-
story up.
Wait, Basement, you
Yes,
think
Heather,
that
we can.
Eric Rowan you think is gonna win?
Yeah, and
Jesus.
it's because fucking Daniel Bryan will come in, pretend like he's mad at Eric Rowan like he has, and then just
So he'll
Damn.
turn. So you actually think that Daniel Bryan is involved?
he will reveal himself as the mastermind, which is just stupid. Nobody cares.
Yeah,
Who else is it going to
Or
be?
he'll
at
come
this
out and
point?
help Roman.
I agree.
But then what do you do? What do you do with that? Like, where would that ever go? I mean, they could be a tag team, but good God, no.
Well, that'll lead to fucking Roman versus fucking Daniel Bryan at fucking
Whatever it is.
Hell
Hell
in
in
a
a
Cell.
In
Right?
a Hell in
Yeah.
a Cell.
In a
Yeah.
Hell in a Cell.
I'm going with Roman here.
I'm gonna go with Rowan.
You said Roman too,
I'm
Dory?
I'm going with Dory, and I'm gonna go Roman.
He needs to get some kind of retribution for all this as a payoff,
Dun-dun.
and then
The payoff will be Daniel Bryan.
But it doesn't make sense for the storyline to pay off with him being attacked by Eric Rowan.
Yeah.
Literally,
Rowan
the person
and then-
nobody cares about.
Great.
Because
but
if
maybe they're trying to make people care about him. Like
Well,
he actually
so
did a promo this week.
I'll
Not a
be
good
right back,
thing.
you guys.
Eric Rowan isn't the answer to end this feud. If he beats Eric Rowan, then it's over. I don't want to hear any more about it. Daniel Bryan
Maybe-
should not come out and get involved. There's no
Maybe
But if
they
it
will
ends
cut
that
it.
way, like, why even do it?
Exactly.
Like, Jesus, man. That's like a combination of seeing the same thing for at least an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get back.
Ugh.
So you're going Rowan?
We know it.
No. Yeah, he's going with Eric. You said Eric Rowan with the Daniel Bryan interference, right? Or whatever.
Yep. Even if Roman wins, it's going to be Daniel Bryan interference. That's all I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Dory?
It could be another Charlotte Flair.
I'm going with Roman, and I think it's going to be
That's right.
I think it's going to be interference, but I think Daniel Bryan's actually going to help Roman, which will confuse things even more.
Try.
Trey.
I think Brian's gonna come out and he's gonna help Rowan, and then they're gonna admit they're in it all together, and that he let Rowan beat him up.
Okay. Bobbit?
I'm gonna go with my boy Roman.
Okay. But keep in mind, if that's the case, then the storyline should end right there. But it won't. It'll continue.
I mean, even if Roman wins, the storyline technically doesn't have to end. Like, he could come in and do something to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns kicks out because he's literally God.
Right. It's true. I forgot.
Longer video package next week.
Oh God, no.
Next match, the WWE title: Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton.
or 10.
Jesus.
So you're picking Randy then, Dory?
Ah,
I'm kind of over this whole Kofi Kingston thing. Like, they gave him
I
a good
was-
title
A
run.
lot of people are. There's a report out there that both Seth and Kofi are not drawing the numbers that WWE was expecting.
I'd
and
much
Becky.
rather Kofi be a chaser for a championship than holding a championship.
There was an obvious story that they didn't go with Kofi Kingston because they were scared to lose merch sales, and that's with the New Day self-imploding and actually having a match off of that. And they're not going to go with that, so it has to go to Randy Orton at this point.
Yeah.
The brand split's about to happen. they can't keep it on Kofi. He is the third wheel to a tag team, not the champion.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I'm gonna go with Randy Orton. Trek.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Orton. I thought they would have kept him on until the first SmackDown, but on Fox, but I don't think they'll even do it. I think they'll just put it on Orton Sunday.
It'll be easier to promote him as the champion now going into that deal rather than having him become the champion at the start of that deal.
Kofi's time is up. He's had his run. It's time to end it. It's just been almost as bad as almost, and I'm not saying it is as bad. Almost as bad as fucking Jinder Mahal's title. I hate to say that, but I have not enjoyed his title run at all. It was cute. They should have taken the title off him.
They gave him his moment, and I think the fact that he's had it for so long, I mean, I'm happy for him, but it's time to kind of, going into SmackDown on Fox, like, you need somebody who's got some more star power behind his name, and unfortunately, that's not Kofi Kingston, that's Randy Orton. That's a name that people know that don't even watch wrestling because of the out of nowhere videos. It's viral.
Not only that, he's in the movie. And he's in the Shooter TV series.
Yeah,
but they've been unwilling to do what needed to be done with Kofi Kingston once he won the title.
Yep.
And for that reason, he's gonna lose.
I agree. Yeah. It's gonna be Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Bobbit.
Yeah, I'm going Randy Orton.
I think FTR KO is gonna win everything.
Unfortunately, I agree with you.
Because you know what, them versus the club, like they're gonna build more fractions. They're gonna build it. You'll see.
No.
Yeah.
It'll happen. I don't want it, but it'll happen.
You're fired. Next match. Raw Women's Championships. Becky versus Sasha. I wish.
Oh, Sasha. Please.
No, she's not winning.
Not here.
Nope.
Not here. She will win at the Royal Rumble. This feud's gonna last for.
I'm just so over Becky too. Like every week, like I'm so
over. I am with you.
She is gonna win. Becky's gonna win because of WWE 2K20 on the horizon, and she's the
not only that, but like they have the new issue of Muscle and Fitness magazine.
Oh God!
All of that stuff. Like there's a lot of stuff backing Becky right now, so it's.
But then you have Sasha come back to this big storyline, and you're gonna have her like lose.
Not in the way. She didn't lose.
No, but in this.
I don't think she's going to take a pin. I don't think she's going to lose.
There's going to be some sort of fuckery.
I think Sasha Banks is going to. She's going to lose, but she's going to get disqualified.
Yeah, I think that she's going to like flip her shit and she's going to like bring in a chair or a kendo stick or something and she's going to hit Becky with it flat out.
Will win, or she will beat Becky at the Royal Rumble.
I think Sasha's going to win.
Or
but she's going to win by being disqualified because I think Becky Lynch is going to get her retribution with the chair on her. Like she'll introduce the chair or something and look to like Becky, beat her, and then Becky's gonna beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, Becky will disqualify herself because the title is not like a title doesn't change hands through disqualification.
Well, that too. So I see Becky actually losing,
flipping her shit.
So I see Becky winning through DQ.
I see
see Sasha winning through DQ.
Oh yeah, sorry, Sasha winning through DQ.
Sasha winning by DQ.
Yep.
Trek.
I see Sasha actually getting DQ'd and Becky wins, and then at Rumble she wins. She finally wins the title.
You realize we have two matches in this, and championship matches nonetheless, that ended DQ.
And they're both women's matches.
It's not all gonna happen.
It's simply because of that volatile situation going on between Sasha and Becky and Charlotte and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
Like Charlotte, I'd say Charlotte would beat Bayley over Sasha winning the title off Becky.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I agree with that.
Sasha will win the title off of Becky at some point, just not
Yeah.
right yet.
Isn't the next big one Survivor Series?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But they don't usually do title matches there unless it's for something like.
Well, but
It's usually
we
champion
don't
versus
know.
champion.
We don't know what they are now. We know what they have done previously with the Survivor Series, but they may go back to the way the Survivor Series should be done.
which is couple championships and the teams.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what you know what I'd actually like to see? I'd like to see Bailey lose to Charlotte, and then Sasha win by DQ, and then Sasha win the title at Royal Rumble, and at the same time have Bailey win the Royal Rumble.
There you go. That's exactly what I think.
See, I'm sorry, but I think that Ronda Rousey's coming back at Royal Rumble, so
I
Well,
think so
if
too.
that's the case, if she does come back, then that changes everything. I don't know.
Should I
But then she
keep
could fight
Sasha
Charlotte.
by DQ?
Correct.
Yes.
What did you? What? No.
I
Heather
said
asked
that
you a question.
Sasha tries to play dirty, gets DQ'd.
So Becky by DQ.
So Becky
Yeah.
wins.
Becky wins by DQ, yes.
Bobby?
I'm gonna go with Sasha by DQ.
What did you say, Dory? I'm sorry.
I'm going with Sasha.
Who the fuck is this guy?
By DQ, or she's gonna outright win?
I don't think it's gonna be DQ. I think it might be count out.
I don't think we really need to say how they win, just who wins, right?
yeah, who wins? Yeah.
And the final match, because my God, they gotta make both. Well, they gotta make one of these guys look like fucking he's a god. The new Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. Going with Seth Rollins. Seth is not losing because he beat
No.
Brock and he broke his
Yeah.
ribs and beat Brock clean.
I agree, 100%.
And not only that, but I feel that, oh, Jesus Christ, I feel that not only did he beat Brock, but Braun is just, unfortunately, Braun is one of those people that he's not a main card title holder. Like, he's more a chaser.
hmm
So for him to hold the title, I just don't think it makes sense. So I'm going Seth.
Basement?
I'm going to go with Braun Strowman.
You going with
It
Braun?
makes no sense. It makes no sense, but hey, it's WWE.
You're going with Braun Strowman?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Okay. I want the title off of fucking Seth. Sucks as a champion now for some reason.
I feel like
Oh
this
my
match
gosh.
is going to have a heel turn for Braun.
Maybe they both lose
Hope
their
so.
championships and Becky and Seth go get married.
I don't care.
I doubt it.
I don't think it would be that quick.
I don't fucking care if they. I hope they crash in a car on the way to the
I
wedding.
don't, for the record. That is a horrible thing to say.
Well,
I do not wish
don't,
that.
I don't care if they get fucking married. I don't care.
I'm just saying, Balor did it really quickly. Like, you never know.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
care
him and
Finn
that girl
Balor- I
had
don't
been
care
actually
that Finn
dating for
Balor
like
got
a
fucking
year.
married. I don't care.
And Seth and Becky were just on vacation. They're not going to let them do that again this soon.
That's true. Well, they might get married and then come back and show up on Monday. Whatever.
Right.
Like Roman did.
I don't.
They could do the Vegas wedding like Triple H and Stephanie.
They
I mean, if
they
you're going to put the title on Braun Strowman ever, this is the time because
Mhm.
nobody cares. Because it's not like Seth Rollins is blowing everybody's socks off. Like,
And then you further destroy Brock Lesnar. Love it.
well, he's dead anyway. He's dead and buried.
Oh, that's true. He lost.
that the last
he
match?
lost to Seth Rollins with broken ribs.
I know. Don't ever remind me of that.
But you know
This is
what,
the
though?
most rage I
Like,
felt while watching something.
with Braun winning, that would lead to an ultimate like Brock versus Braun match at possibly Survivor Series. So I really like that idea.
Well, you have face versus face. I'm pretty sure, and it would only make sense for Braun to turn heel.
Right, because Brock Lesnar pretty much turned. Well, I mean, they turned him face with the fucking jukebox thing, or the boombox thing, but then they turned him back heel again facing Seth, so they could easily turn him back face.
There are so many turns.
I just feel like Brock Lesnar.
Welcome to WWE.
I don't even look at him as a heel or face. He's just fucking.
He's just Brock
entity that
Lesnar.
comes out of- He's like Undertaker.
Yeah, I agree with that statement.
I think they're gonna go with. You know what? Maybe they'll go with Braun, and that's where they're gonna inject Bray.
No,
Please God, no. Please God, no.
I'm sorry, you guys. I know you don't want to hear it, but I've read spoilers, and it looks like that's what they're doing.
No,
Bray's planted the seeds on Twitter too.
So you read spoilers, but they just rewrote SmackDown the day of 2 hours before the show.
They're
No,
also-
like
well-
like I read it, they're not spoilers per show. There's spoilers on like what WWE is
Long term.
planning and like who they're planning on pushing. And that's actually earlier this year. That's where I heard about Baron Corbin. And you guys were like, "There's no way they're going to push Baron Corbin." But guess what happened? They pushed fucking Baron
They've been
Corbin.
pushing Baron Corbin forever.
yeah.
Not
So
really.
Yes, really, man, they have been.
Not really.
At the Calgary Stampede, which is going to be a house show, which probably maybe they'll throw on the network. It's going to
No.
be Seth Rollins versus Bray Wyatt, and it's been pre-announced, and they've even like recorded promos of Seth talking to Bray, and they've been showing it on
for the
TV
love
on
of
Canada
fuck.
TV for like 3 weeks now.
Oh, for the love of fuck, then. Hey, guess who's winning this match? Seth Rollins.
So I'm just saying maybe it's going to be that way, but I mean, why else would you pre-announce it? Like, it's not a card subject to change. Like, they're actually even showing promos with Seth about it.
But the thing is, like, Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins can have a match. There doesn't need to be a title involved.
It's a title match.
Well, I don't believe any of what is being told to me right now.
All right, then. All right.
Look it up. If you
Responsible?
watch the Canada,
Or
if you
responsible,
watch,
reasonable, I mean.
if you watch the Canadian feed this week for Raw and SmackDown, you will see them. They've been pushing the promos for like 3 weeks for the Calgary Stampede.
No, I forgot about it. Correct? About it? Ready?
Go ahead, Bob.
Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman winning.
Okay. Trek?
As much as I like to see Braun winning, he just beat Lesnar, and if they made him lose to Strowman, it just kind of deflates all that and stuff. So I think it's gonna be Seth, and I think lights go out. Bray, whatever his name is in the ring, and Manimal calls him, and then the show goes off.
So then, everything that I
Possible.
have fucking said about fucking Bray Wyatt is true. I hope it's true, because then I was right. And fuck Bray
I
Wyatt.
hope it's not true, because
my
if you're
God.
right, everybody loses.
Oh my God. I hope it's not true just simply so that JP can stop saying I was right.
Well, I don't want to be right. I don't want to be right. I don't want them to fucking do this shit. But this is how WWE is. And with the Calgary Stampede thing, they had, and I'll give you an example, they had Becky and Charlotte in a match right before WrestleMania or not right before WrestleMania. It was like they took the title off of Asuka. But they had Asuka taking on Becky or Charlotte or Becky for the SmackDown Women's title in Madison.
I'm saying.
But Charlotte, so the card is subject to change. When they say the card is subject to change, they promote shit all the time. But that doesn't mean
Seth
that
was
that
actually
person.
cutting a promo on Bray. How often do you see that?
Okay, I understand that. But you've seen WWE do the fucking Charlotte and Becky thing, but Asuka was the champion. You see what I'm saying?
Calgary Stampede's a really big show for them. I can't see them doing that and then pulling that back.
Why not?
Yeah, they might.
They've done stuff like that before, though, where they've said this, and then the arenas they gave different stuff to the arenas because they knew the arenas would leak it. So then when they put out a brand new card, they said, "Oh, you never saw this coming."
See, they do this all the time. They never expected to have Kevin Owens lose to AJ Styles at fucking the U.S. title at a fucking house show. They pulled the trigger on that. That wasn't even scheduled to happen. It was supposed to be
Same with
somebody
AJ
else.
beat Jinder Mahal in England. I
Okay,
think.
I'm just
No, I get it.
when
I
it
get
comes,
it. But
it'll happen, and then I get to say, "I told you so."
Well-
then she gets to say, "I was right."
you're
I
fired.
I can't. I don't. For somebody you're keeping off TV, why would you promote a match that's not going to happen?
Yeah,
Because that's
a
where all the
very good point.
people
If
sell
it
the
was
top-
just like,
he's even if he's not on TV, he's still like one of the most popular people on
but
WWE.
even if it was just like a Roman versus Seth Rollins or something, like,
How
okay,
about this?
I
They're
get that.
saying that. How about this? They're saying that to sell tickets.
Yep.
And you can use Bray Wyatt that way because nobody knows what he's gonna do. With Roman, he's already in a storyline, and there's obviousness. So, like, say Roman versus Seth out of nowhere.
Normally, if this was anybody else, I would agree with you. But the way that they've been showing the promos and the way that they've been like making this like the main event of the Calgary Stampede, I can't picture them pulling that.
What the fuck is the Calgary Stampede in terms of like wrestling shows?
It's a big wrestling show for them.
For who?
Because
what is
Stampede
it?
Wrestling. Because of the history of Stampede Wrestling, they always make a really big deal and always go when the Calgary Stampede is
But
on.
they haven't been back there in like years.
But like, what is it? Is it like a pay
It's
per
a
view?
it's a
No,
house
it's
show
a
that
house
will
show.
probably be on.
Oh, okay. Well then,
That'll
whatever,
probably
man.
be
We just had
recorded.
Bray Wyatt versus the fucking B team.
I mean, regardless of which, whatever. We picked our picks.
I
To
don't,
argue this the rest of the night.
I don't. Not saying that I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. If that makes sense.
That does not make sense at all.
No, I can't
No, it makes
buy
zero
into
sense.
the fact.
I see it happening, but I don't see it happening.
I can't buy into the fact that WWE, with as much as they have invested into fucking Bray Wyatt, doing this at a house show.
I can't if they're going to televise it.
They're not
No,
going to televise it.
it ain't
They
gonna happen.
might
It
though
makes
because
no
might.
sense,
They
though.
might though because they might put it on the network like they did with the
Mhm.
last fucking house show.
And then
It
they're going
makes
to have
no-
Bray Wyatt fucking lose.
And
Which
it'll be
makes
between now.
no
It'll be
sense.
between now and Survivor Series, so it's
Even
but
if the
now
match
it's now
happens-
Survivor Series, it's Hell in a Cell.
This it makes
Oh,
no
I
sense.
forgot about Hell in a Cell. Why does that exist?
Because they're bored. Because
All
Well,
right,
it's
and-
obvious that he's gonna have a match at Hell in the Cell because he's been hinting towards it. See you in Hell.
mhm.
Not only that, but guys, Connor brought this up. What if Wyatt wins?
Then he's dead.
I don't think so.
On that note, before
I
we
never
start another
say
debate,
never.
I have to get to bed.
He wins.
All right, Dory.
Night,
Night,
guys.
Dory.
Night, Dory.
Right.
Right. What if Wyatt, like this thing? He's got this problem where, like, if he wins, what do you do with him? He's on the road to killing his character as soon as he owns a title.
Yep.
Especially now, if it happens before WrestleMania.
And if this is all a ploy for them to have the countersuit to fucking AEW, it's dead. I just don't see them doing that. I just don't. Especially having him win the title on the network. If they were gonna do that, they would change the title every time on a fucking house show that they show on the fucking network. Every time I see a network special, they build it up and then it is absolute shit.
No, I don't mean that. I mean, what if he wins at Hell in a Cell?
But then what do you do with him?
Yeah, what do you do with him until fucking WrestleMania?
Here's the thing: if he's the champion, he can't just be doing these fucking funhouse segments. He's got to be a bit more present than that. And even if he does just do the funhouse segments, like, where do you go? He's basically the champ. He's gonna be a Brock Lesnar where he never shows up, but he doesn't have the credibility of Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I see.
I don't know. Either way, I don't trust them to book him. And in this match, things I don't give a fucking shit about who wins between Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. It literally means nothing to me because I don't. Seth Rollins is a terrible champion. Should have never won the belt. He turned into a fucking bitch as soon as he did.
Yeah,
For lack of a better term, the guy was like, "I'm second to my wife."
Right. Other than that, we've done our picks. We will be streaming the pay-per-view on the Cold Bone Show. I don't know who's all going to be there, but we will be watching it live and in living color, and I'll probably want to sleep during it.
Yeah.
How excited are you for Clash of Champions? To be honest,
I just told you.
I'm like everybody.
I mean, I don't know. It has potential, but
Again,
every
yeah.
fucking pay-per-view has potential.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, look. It's Packers will have played. I will have probably slammed my hat fucking 35 fucking times. Yelled at my daughter for no fucking reason.
That's not nice.
Angry person. I didn't yell at her last week, I don't think. Yeah, I did. Well, that's because she was being loud and obnoxious.
I mean, she's a baby.
She still needs to learn that she can't be loud and obnoxious.
I don't think she's gonna learn that as a baby.
I think Dad needs to learn first.
I can be loud and obnoxious. I pay the bills. But anyway.
Oh no.
See who wins that argument. But anyway.
What the fuck? It's a baby.
I know. I
got
can't
a job.
remember what I yelled at. It wasn't because she was being loud.
Been telling her to
She
get a
did.
job.
She got into
She
something.
doesn't listen to him.
Oh my god, that's great.
No,
That is
she
great.
got into something. So I slapped her hand and said no. And
Well, there you go. If you would have just said that.
You guys really think? You guys, come on! I gotta fucking build it up.
I mean, obviously, we don't think that you're mean like to your daughter, but just.
He gave her a
Jesus Christ.
tombstone pile driver, and she went right to bed.
He put her in the crossface.
elbow drop from
Oh
the
god,
couch.
not the crossface.
Hey, no, no, don't bring that up. That's sore memories, okay?
But
First,
no.
I ordered a Bowflex on eBay.
No,
Oh my
no,
God,
no,
basement.
no. I just meant because Gina's mom used to do it, not
Yeah,
because
my
of that.
mom. And
Oh, yeah.
for the record, anybody out there that was listening, yes, my mother used to put me on a crossface, but I was also like 17. I was 17 years old by this time, and we were watching wrestling, and she's just like, "Hey, I wonder if that hurts," and she put me in one. And for the record, it fucking hurts.
It does hurt.
That argument can be said for punching someone in the face. I wonder if that hurts.
But that being said,
Right.
I
My mom
am
is
not
amazing.
that mean to my daughter. I am kidding. I do yell at her, but she needs to know that she can't do stuff.
I don't think she understands.
Well, she does. She does. She understands.
Oh,
Can I say something real fast?
No.
Yes.
I flew off the handle earlier. I do apologize. I've been having a bad time because my allergies are kicking my ass. So it's not you guys. It's just I'm tired of shit.
No, Trek.
It's fine.
No excuses. No, I love you.
No, Trek,
I love
like
you.
seriously, if you're not comfortable with something happening, then you have every right to say so. So
Exactly.
no,
Don't
it's
have
no
to
big deal, man.
apologize.
No big
I
deal.
don't,
biggie.
I don't
No biggie.
mind you fighting back. And we'll talk about it off stream. But other than that, because I'm never gonna apologize to you.
Oh, God.
Such an asshole.
See,
Always right. I'm always right.
Yeah, I'm never wrong.
that's not true.
Can we end this
Even when I'm
already?
wrong, I'm
Shut
right.
I want
up.
to play Borderlands, damn it.
Bobbitt, shut up.
6-hour stream coming up, folks.
So no, I'm actually gonna end it. So that being said, I'm gonna end it here. I want to thank everybody for being here, except for Trek. And
Oh,
I'm seeing.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
I know, man. It's okay.
So I'm gonna end it here. You guys have a great night. We'll see you on Sunday. We'll be tweeting out during the show, most likely too. We'll talk to you into the Twitters and the chats, and have a good night. And don't
Oh,
forget to
fuck
check
yourself.
out all the other content that is on the Horny Goat, please.
Oh my God, Emily must play. You must go check it out now.
Also check out the show that Basement and OK Fade did last night. I haven't checked it out myself.
Oh, that was funny as shit.
JP, no, you have to watch that shit while we're on air. Not on air, but on the Skype call. Anyways,
Okay.
go check it out.
I gotta
All
take
right,
a
yes.
shit. I'm not gonna lie.
The only thing I got is fuck my ass hard or something. I don't know. Fucking basement left. So that being said, y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Bye.
I'm going back to Borderlands. Fuck
Yeah.
you all.
Yeah, fuck you,
Fuck you all.
asshole.
No, dude, you need to watch that shit while we're on